is to understand the graph of tangent function. So here's a unit circle, as we have, and we have random points on the edge of the circle, which we call B, and we call origin D, and we have perpendicular line dropped from point B to x-axis, that's C. So we have right triangle BCD. So the tangent is measurement BC divided by measurement DC, which is the cosine, which we have 1.45. And we draw a line going through B and D and extend it to all the way up and down. And we also have vertical line to x-axis going through the point 1, 0. The name of the line, we call it x equals 1. And the intersection points of the line x equals 1 and the line BD we call T. And notice that we have another segment that is congruent to the segment T to the point 1, 0. And notice that coordinate of T is 1 and 1.45 at this point. And also notice that we have the tangent, which is 1.45. So if this B travel from 1, 0 to traveling the edge of the circle, we see that the tangent changes. And at the same time, the y-coordinate changes. And the length of the segments gets longer and longer and longer as it approaches to 90 degrees. And it starts all the way up to positive infinity. As it goes through 90 degrees, it goes all the way down to negative infinity. We don't know how low it is. And then it starts going back up as it goes, as point B approaches to the point negative 1, 0, which is, the radian is pi. And then it starts going back up again as it approaches to 3 pi halves, which is 270 degrees. And when it passes, it goes all the way back down to negative infinity, and it starts going back up to 0. So let's trace that point. So first of all, we want to make the graph form trig axis so that we see pi's and all that. We want to trace this point, and we want to animate this guy and this guy. Let me try the best I can do to bring this to that point 0. Maybe I should put it to negative pi halves. And let me bring this all the way down to 1, 0. And it's very, very hard to delete everything. So we are animating this and this. And let's see how the trace will be. Oh, let's slow down a little bit. So goes to 0 and it starts going up and it goes all the way to positive infinity, and it comes up from negative infinity and it goes back up to 0, slows down, and it goes to positive infinity all the way up. And it starts repeating. The same pattern starts repeating, as you see. So this is the graph of tangents. The thing is, when x is 0, or when it's 0 radian, the point is all the way down, which is negative infinity, and it starts going up, and as it approaches the pi halves, it approaches to 0, and it just goes back up, goes to all the way up, and then it goes all the way down, and it starts going to 0, and it goes all the way up, and it starts repeating. So the same pattern happens every 1 pi. So 0 to pi, you got this pattern. From pi to 2 pi, we get the same pattern. And 2 pi to 3 pi, we have the same pattern. 3 pi to 4 pi, we have the same pattern. But when it's pi, we don't know what's happening. When it's 0, we don't really know what's happening. When it's 2 pi, we don't know what's happening. And this line right here, we call asymptote, vertical asymptote. And so that's how a graph of tangent function is made.